Hello, this is Mitch King with TradeStocksAmerica with the daily stock report for Thursday night, December 18th. We're looking at FXI, the Xinhua 25, still looking at this as an uptrend. We flattened out over the last week or so with the 31.75 as the resistance so far in the last week. We're looking for this to continue to move up. We have had several down days in the Dow, and the Chinese stocks haven't been hurt as much as many of the U.S. stocks. So this is down less than 1% today, with many of the sectors down 10 or 11% in other stocks like oil, commodities, coal, financials. This is PTR, PetroChina, oil stock, the China's largest oil company, holding up fairly well considering oil prices have dropped, but the Chinese market looks like it's still supporting a lot of these stocks. The Sino Petroleum S&P is a little more negative, but still within the uptrend. On the bottom end of that uptrend, let's take a look on that. We're at the bottom end of this channel here, looking for this to continue to move up. The Dow Jones was only down about 50 points until the Bush administration, or the White House press secretary, said that the Bush administration is considering an orderly bankruptcy for the U.S. automakers. That really put this market down and closed down 219 on the Dow Jones. This is a critical point for us to watch if these trend lines really get broken down and we head down to lower lows, or if we continue a intermediate trend bullish pattern like we've been doing this last week or so, or two. Obviously, we would favor we'd like it to have an uptrend on an intermediate term basis. You can see our whole style of trading is changing, although our intraday trades are starting to act good again and be viable. Let's take a look at some of those, by the way. Here's RIM, really nice drop and pop here. Opened up at $40.65, dropped down about $2, and then rebounded a 3% move from this bottom point right here to here. And this potential from this point right here all the way to here is 3%. And that's a really excellent pattern. We're going to continue to see this probably tomorrow and coming on this week. We had a little bit of a lull there for several days where things weren't really working on an intraday basis, but here the last 2 days we've been seeing these come back. Let's take a look at First Solar that gave two different ideas. First Solar gave two opportunities. It was definitely harder to trade because it opened up at probably about over $6, dropped about $8, had a move there only about $2.50 or a little over 2% on that move. So right here to right here was only a 2%, and then it sold off again. You got to be really quick on the draw to get this first one and get out with any profit. And then it moved up again here, which is a 3%er from here to here. And that's what you're looking for, an intraday trade, or we call it scalping, or I call it intraday trade, means the same thing. So look for this to reappear tomorrow on Friday the 19th. Apple gave us a nice one here, about 2.6% move. From this here to here is about 2.6%. So it had a small drop and a pretty decent pop. Let me try to open this up a little bit. That looks a little bit better on a 3-minute chart for one day. But you get the idea. A couple other stocks to look for on a drop and pop that really was big today was DSX. Now this stock has been up. If you look at the daily chart, which I'll switch to in just a second here, it's been going up here for a couple weeks and then had a 10% drop here from the open to the close, but it had a bigger swing from $15.70 to $13 or $2.70. So that was a pretty big swing, and so you saw most of that drop right in here, and this is a real nice rebound. Had about a 7.5% rebound today, so we're looking for that again tomorrow. And several other stocks I put on the text report to look for. are the other shipping stocks that have gone up, DRYS, EGLE, and again this one DSX, which is Diana Shipping. So let it drop down a little more than normal tomorrow on these shipping stocks because they've really been up a lot the last couple weeks and should start breaking down. Now this technique won't work on these shipping stocks. It really works best the first couple days of it starting to correct because that bounce won't be there. People will be just selling off instead of trying to buy and speculate. So today was the first day, so that 7.5% from here to here is logical, but we'll get a little bit more on these other ones too. A couple other stocks that I wanted to talk about. First one here is USO. This is the United States Oil Fund, which is an ETF. Let's look at different scales here. Again, this is tracking the oil price, and you can see that this one here was as high as $120 in early July, and we just hit $32 today. Let me open that, close that up a little bit more. So we hit about $32 as a low today, and I'm thinking that we need to be looking for a possible entry. So far, the only possible indication that we could be getting at least a swing trade on the long side is we've got this accelerated volume. We've got 5 down days in a row and increasing volume. But I'm thinking that this is going to be one of the big winners of 2009 for us on the intermediate trades. But so far, there's no entry point yet. But remember, we're at $32.73. This was $120 about 5-6 months ago. Keep that on your watch list, set alarms, don't forget about it, and don't let me forget about it. Here's a stock that's relatively, you would think, is boring. It's Kellogg, packaged foods and processed food and drinks. I'm looking for a potential bottom here. It's trying to flatten out and move upward. The MACD indicator is starting to point up as well as stochastic, so we're looking for some entry point. I'm thinking it's this next day or so. It doesn't get near badly as hurt as the others. It's down toward its bottom of its trading range, but it is going through a bottoming process. We might be a little early on this. I'm thinking this next few days should give us a possibility to go long. Here's that low price short that I had. Shorted at $2.94 to $3 a couple days ago. Hit $2.08 today. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm thinking this might drop lower. Just hold this until it stops going down. And as soon as it starts spiking up, you cover these shorts, especially these low price stocks. You got to really pay attention to these and not go to sleep on it. But I'm thinking this goes under $2 tomorrow, maybe $1.75. Just keep watching this as a short. Most firms won't allow you to short below $5, but there's a handful of companies that will do that. So right now, so far, this one's up about 30% over the last couple days on a short trade. But again, it's highly speculative, very dangerous for these low price stocks. Now, you guys have a great day. I'm taking the week off next week. I haven't had a day off that I can think of since probably late June. You might see me, you might keep an eye out for a report in case I just can't sit still long enough. But you guys have a great day tomorrow, and the next scheduled report will be the 28th on Sunday evening of December. Have a great Christmas, and you take care of you and your family.